What is up, guys? Steve here with Scotch and Things. Almost forgot my name. Can you hear the mud coming off the tires hitting the truck? Oh, long day. Fuck. Long day. Talk about a couple knives. Well, I want to talk about the Ramlok, Microtech Ramlok, because I'm an expert after a day with it. And then we'll talk about Medford knife and tool. First off, okay, it's only been a day, right? Carried this to work today. Nothing too strenuous, you know. Cuts. I still want to always go for the lock bar. You know, cut some plastic, cut some cardboard. I did use the spine as a screwdriver. But yeah, I just really like how this feels in hand. Okay, like they're gonna carry it a month. I mean, you carry a knife long enough, you kind of get a feel for it, right? Sometimes you fall out of love with a knife, but just after a day carrying it on the job, let's talk about it. The pocket clip, remember in the video, or if you watched the unboxing, I talked about, wow, that's tight. It is tight. Haven't tried it in jeans yet. Maybe I'll wear some jeans. I'll wear some jeans to work tomorrow. I've got some like thinner dicky type pants on today with a thin pocket, and it still goes in. I mean, you gotta push it in, and you gotta pull it out, which is nice because, you know, shit happens on the job site when you're picking stuff up. That Dwyer that I got from Dave, I actually picked some crap up and it caught on the knife, and because that pocket clip's a little looser, and it pulled the knife out of my pocket, and I heard it hit the ground, so at least I knew. But so I think it's a good thing for something like that. We'll see what it's like in shorts, but yeah, where I'm gonna typically use this knife though on the job site, sorry, I'm setting my cruise. It is a tight pocket clip, which I'm okay with. Like I said, I don't want to lose it. Mark brought up, he mentioned, and I didn't even think of it, but once I've had the day to spend with it and use it, like he said, one of the things holding him off is the ambidextrous pocket clip screws, you know, because you can mount the clip on either side. They're proud, right? They stand proud. I get that, but I actually found it useful, at least someone like in my situation, where it helps pull that knife out, because like I said, it's got a lot of retention, so when I'm grabbing the knife, I'm kind of grabbing here and I'm pulling up, so I'm getting my thumb and it's giving me a little traction, because the fluted scale's kind of slick even with gloves on. The aluminum, the fluted, it's kind of a slick, slippery little guy, so I don't mind those. I get it aesthetically, but at least for me, pulling it in and out of pocket, it works for me. The Ramlok, after spending an all day flipping it and playing with it, and it reminds me more of a Demco 80-20 than it does an Axis lock, if that makes sense, right? It's at least for me, and I've said this, I don't like the Axis lock. I don't like how it feels, even though this is the same type of thing, really. Bar lock, whatever. To me, I don't think Benchmade at all, opening, closing, flicking this knife out. It feels very Demco to me. So if you're a fan of Demco, the Shark Lock, I think you would like this. Like I said, I'm still a lock bar guy, you know, washers, sometimes bearings overall, but like, you know, this is fun to play with. Like I said, I fidget while I'm jacking the bin on my down jacks, you know, where my eyes can be level watching something. I always pull a knife out and I'm just messing around with it, and it's easy to do with this knife. But yeah, very, very Demco feeling, at least to me. I did notice, so I was having a hard time middle finger flicking it, because my hand over here wants to ride. If you'll see when that knife comes out, see how that Ramlok moves? I was riding my finger, so it I have to kind of watch it, see? If you're riding that lock at all, it really slows the blade down. The studs, I like the studs. I noticed, so if you want like a more lazy feel, you know, grab them out here at the tip. But if you want the fire out, see, I can't, if I ride that lock at all. But if you want it to hit fire a little faster, come up high, closer to the pivot. Just my experience. So there you go. One day, I'm an expert now at the Ramlok. Doug, 5-door, wants me to tear it apart. That would be an epic show. Trying to get that thing. It looks just like a bunch of magic in there. So yeah, just one day, first impressions, just what I noticed carrying it on the job. But yeah, it's more, this thing is way more, like, if I honestly, if I close my eyes, it could be this, or it could be my Demco 8020 in my hand, and really couldn't tell, right? Other than one's a Ramlok and one's a Shark Lock, right? So there's that. Now, Medford Knife and Tool. Greg Medford made a video today announcing he was sunsetting the Praetorian series. Praetorian tie, Praetorian T, Genesis tie, Micro tie. That's kind of a bummer. Well, I mean, really only for me. The only one I'm after now is a Genesis tie. I've got the Micro tie. I've got 2 Praetorian ties. One I carry at work, and one was the first, one was, I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. My first knife, I remember when I kind of started getting into the bigger knives, that was kind of the great, like, I remember, God, was it the year COVID? Yeah, it was like 2020 or something when I decided I wanted one, and I got the Praetorian. Couldn't swing a Praetorian tie at that time. Well, and then so I got the Praetorian T. Beautiful knife. Love that knife. Shouldn't have really sold it, but it didn't really get carried. And then the next year, I was able to score my first Praetorian tie on it from his holiday show. One-off knife. Freaking love it, still have it. And then last year I decided I wanted the Tanto for work, just thick, and I know the Praetorian's not for everybody, but when you think of Medford Knife and Tool, what's the first knife that pops into your head, right? The Praetorian. So, and he gave some reasons, he's sick of seeing it, basically. He said he's got them everywhere, something that their inventory manager slotted too many to be, I don't know. Is it that, it's the cloning, is it just selling poorly right now, and he just, I don't know, I just think it's weird. It would be like, say, Chris Reeve getting rid of the Sabenza, Hinder getting rid of the XM18, or Strider not doing an SNG or an SMF anymore. That's what I think of when I think of, like, I mean, that's what got me into Medfords, was, that was the first Medford I'd ever got, was the Praetorian T. So yeah, that's what got me into him. I just remember, I like I said, I like that Praetorian T that I got, but that Praetorian tie, and I think maybe that might have been, no, I think I'd spent some money on a custom Strider at that point, but still, when I got that knife, man, like, it made me so, and I still to this day love carrying it. Just, it brings back that memory of, sitting at my computer trying to get it during the holiday show, and being so excited when I grabbed it. It's just kind of one of those knives for me, and it's not like that for everybody. But Medford's moving, he said, he's got another big knife coming out. He's redoing the TFF4, and he said they might bring it back, look at bringing it back in a year. I honestly, I think it's all the things he said, and maybe slow sale. I don't know, but I still see him selling. Secondary on Medford sucks balls, because he does crank out a lot of knives, but the Praetorian, the tie series, the Genesis tie, the Micro tie, and the Praetorian tie, they still hold their value no matter what. So they still guys aren't taking a hit or too bad of a hit unless they way grossly overpaid for one on a tie. The tees, I mean, that's like driving a car off a lot, right? Sorry, I had my hand on it's the minute that thing arrives at your door, it's worth less than what you paid for it. So yeah, but they sell, guys, buy them. So, you know, buy them new instead of getting them on the secondary. So I don't know, that's just what I had, just some quick random thoughts running through my head. I had a quick second during lunch and I watched that video today and I thought, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on the Microtech Ramlok. Very, at least to me, very, very, very shark locky feeling, very Demco feeling, which is a good thing because I prefer that over. It's just still, like I said, it's still not my favorite, but I still prefer that over like the Access, the bar style lock. I just can't stand those, and this doesn't feel like that. And I don't know if it's because it's just a heavier knife. It just, yeah. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.